Hello, MrOneTeas, Mr. Alberti. Thank you very much for your time today and for taking the time to do this interview with us.
Thank you for coming, guys.
Thank you. So, the first question I have for you, how has sustainability molded you as an artist? How has protection of the oceans and the environment molded your career?
I think it started in 2012 because I quit my job in 2011 to be a professional artist because I think we're all artists, but some people just decide to make it happen in the real life. And I was like painting in the street for the 10 years before I decided to make that jump in 2011. And in 2012, after the first exhibition I did, then I was just thinking like how stupid it is to paint on something I'm going to buy, like a canvas. There is no messages special in the canvas because everybody can paint on a canvas. So I just decided to look around me and what the people are throwing away. In these there is treasures because there is a lot of things that you can just transform in the way, like if you spend time on something you can make it beautiful, but with more messages because it's the second life of the product and actually you can bring more intensity and sense to the work you're doing. So I started like this in 2012, and then the first exhibition I did with that thematic was recycle art, and I presented like 40 different pieces, and I invited at that time 30 artists to bring one work each on recycled materials to show that artists can make recycling and art together.
Wow. So let's talk a little bit more about Monaco specifically. So you've had some of your art displayed around Monaco, and you take part in a lot of what Monaco does as a whole. I want to ask you: is there any initiative specifically that Monaco takes towards the ocean? Any stance that they take towards maybe the environment that you specifically like and specifically might give you some inspiration? Or
The thing is like Monaco is really active about like ecological facts. I've been working now, it's I think 4 or 5 years that I'm working close with the Fondation Principality of Monaco with an event called UPAW. It's a urban painter around the world. It's 10 artists coming from everywhere in the world coming to Monaco, making live paintings during 3 days. And usually we work together with the foundation with special thematical what they want to highlight or what they want to defend in the year schedule. And after these 3 days of live paintings and everything, we are doing like an auction, and all the money that we're raising is going to the foundation to make something. So this event is created by Cinzia and Alberto Coleman. I don't know if you know them. They are like Monte Carlo Inn. They have news in Monaco. In collaboration with a Swiss gallery called Spierstra Gallery, with a lot of different graffiti artists. So all together, Fondation Prince Albert, Cinzia Coleman and Alberto and Spierstra are making this event to raise money for the foundation. Then there is a lot of different people hidden in Monaco that makes huge and beautiful things for ecological. Like I told you, Sébastien Wischer with his association Stand Up for the Planet, they are making great things because they are trying to educate the next generation, the future generation, to make them like thinking about what is ecology and why we have to protect our land and our planet. So I love to be and to go along with this kind of people because it's really inspiring, and it's really nice to be with to be with people that they, how do you say, they have this in their stomach. You know, it's not like green is the new glam. I don't care about this because now it's a trend for some people, but in some way it's a good trend because I prefer that to have the trend of ecological things than to have the trend of the selfie with the duck face. So I think it's much interesting to have this kind of green is the new glam, but I love to be with people that they really think what they do and that they really love what they do. So Sébastien is one of them, and there is many others people, but I will talk about them later.
wow, thank you. So on the topic of Monaco and its institutions, let's talk about the Institut Oceanographique for a moment. So this photo behind you, this painting behind you, I believe you mentioned that it was for the Institut Oceanographique. So can you speak a little bit about this beautiful work behind you?
Yeah, so I was part of a group called Sarasvati. It's a deess from India, and the name is a deess from India, and it's a friend of mine who creates that group to bring like artists together on different topic and exhibition together, collective exhibition. So we had in 2014 an exhibition called Océan at the Museum Oceanographique altogether. And I decided to replace this famous movie poster. The name of the movie was Jaws, and I created this as jars, in the meaning that jars are things that you can put something inside, like water, marmalade, whatever you want. And in the same way, it's like when you look at it first, you see a shark, but if you look at the second step, you see a plastic bottle. And in all the background, you just see plastic bottles, no more fish. So the message was like, maybe you've been afraid with shark in the movie, but you should be more afraid with plastic in the reality. So it's why I love to make that composition, because at the first look it's really pop, and at the second look it's a real meaning. So I love to make this kind of stuff, and this will be a sculpture really soon.
Wow.
My first aluminium sculpture.
Beautiful. And I believe you also mentioned before that you use pretty much all recycled materials for all of your work. Can you explain why that is, if there's more of a underlying reason behind it?
The thing is like, as I told you, I'm hyperactive. It's a kind of, it's a sickness in a certain way, because for example, when I'm going outside, I'm looking all around me, and maybe you put your eyes on something, you won't see anything. But if I put my eyes on this, I say, oh, with that, I could make this. So the thing is like, every time I see a material, I have an idea coming out. It's why like when you will see my studio, now it's a bit messy because it's kind of an antiquaire. I have things from the floor to the roof, the ceiling. Everything is like made from recycle, and future project with these recycling things, expecting my time to spend.
Wow. Thank you. And finally, us at Monaco Impact, our job is to raise awareness for environmental issues such as the ocean. So my question to you then is, if you were to speak to future generations of artists or the future generation in general, what would be your advice to them in terms of environmental sustainability, and then on the other hand, in terms of art, to a future artist?
The first advice I will give them, it's not maybe just on an ecological thing, but maybe on a humanity problem. The thing is like, if I have to tell you something, don't look at your own belly button. Look around you, look at people. Go meet them, talk to them. The thing is like, right now, I have something that's really frustrating me, is like, first of all, we have the coronavirus things, so that's making more distance through people. But the thing is like, before the coronavirus, you could just step in the street, have a look to a guy, a homeless, sit on the floor, and people just passing in front of him without giving him an eye. So that's really frustrating for me, because like, we are all humans. And my dad is from a past generation, he's like 75 years old, and at his times, when they were preparing dinner, it was always an empty plate for someone who could come and just ring at the door. That doesn't exist. Like, you can have a guy just in front of the bakery where we've been buying pain au chocolat, and you will get out without giving him any attention. So first of all, I want people maybe to be more aware about humanity things, humans. In the ecological way, it's like, respect the place where you're living, because the thing is like, if you throw all the garbage in your bed, you won't sleep so nice or so well. So the thing is like, imagine that we are all living on the same planet. So if you throw something somewhere, maybe it will be disturb someone's sleep. Think about that.
Well, Mr. Alberti, MrOneTeas, thank you very much for your time today
Guys,
and for
thank
this
you for
interview.
coming.
And we wish all of you a fantastic day.